for the chat.
because
I have
Jessica,
a
Jessica is
I have
messaging a lot.
kind of a hard time monitoring the chat because I'm on a phone.
Yeah.
I have to go
Well, she's
back.
also reading part of the ritual.
Yeah, so I can't watch it.
That's okay. We'll all kind of watch it. Um, Thank you for coming tonight. This is the Yule Ritual, sponsored by the Sisterhood of the Rising Phoenix, presented by Carolyn Rivelto, Karen French, and Audrey West Scott. We will now hear the story of the Wild Hunt from Audrey West Scott.
Hi, guys, and welcome. For Yule is the time of the year where the night is the longest, and as we wait for the dawn, we sit around the fire and we listen to the stories of old. So imagine sitting around this peat fire on a Yule Eve, with the flames they leap and the wind it howls as it shakes the home. This is a Norse pagan legend of the Wild Hunt. This has been reimagined as a traditional piet, a short Norse tale, told from the viewpoint of a Scot, a storyteller. The Ride of the One-Eyed King, a tale from the north in the days before the cross. Listen now and draw close to the heart, for the night is long and the wind is sharp as a spear point, and the stars hide behind the breath of the world. For it's not a tale of daylight, this is a tale for Jotner, the longest night, the night when Odin rides. Long ago, when the gods were still walked the high hills, and men left honey cakes for the Deesir at the crossroads. There lived an old goat herd named Pilkner, who dwelt alone on a turf hut beneath the black fells of western Norway. Pilkner had seen 80 winters. His beard was as white as the rimfrost. His hands were gnarled like eel roots, but his eyes sharp and gray as a raven's, missing nothing. He knew of the signs when the cattle lowed without a cause, when the dogs pressed their bellies to the floor and whined, when the northern lights trembled, not danced, but shuddered. He then barred the door and banked the fire and whispered, "The All Father is abroad." For the darkest of nights of Yule, especially when the moon was swallowed and the snow fell sideways in a gale, the Wild Hunt rode. Not in this world, not the next, but in the in between. And it began always as a wind, not a clean wind that sweeps the fords in the spring, but a hollow wind, thick and heavy. It came not from the sea nor the mountains, but from above. As the sky felt itself, and it tore open, then came the sound, at first a distant thunder, not of storms, but of hoofs, 1,000, 10,000, beating the air like war drums on the skin of the world. And then the baying, deep throated, ancient, neither wolf nor hound, but the voice of hunger and fate made sound. Alas, the cry, a single piercing horn note, ragged and wild, that froze the marrow in a man's bones. It was Geltner's shadow, not Helmdir's true horn, no, not yet, but Odin's own call, blown through the twisted ram's horn, bound in iron runes, and summoning the dead to ride once more. Helkner had seen it once, only once, and never forgot. It was the eve of Yule. He had gone out to check a lamb caught in a drift. The air was still, the stars glittered like ice chips, and then a crack. The world splitting, the sky ripped. In the gash poured a host of spectral steeds with manes of smoke and eyes like dying embers. Riders in mail, rusted black in age, their faces hidden beneath helm shaped like wolves' heads. Wings of ravens, 1,000 strong, swirling like a swarm of ash. And at their head, a tall figure on an 8-legged steed, black as the starless void. His cloak steamed behind him like a banner of night. One eye gleamed cold blue, knowing. The other shadowed. In his hand, a spear that never missed. And on his shoulders, 2 wolves above him, 2 ravens wheeling silently. It was Odin, the terrible, the wise, the ruthless, the Jotner, the Yule father. He rode not for sport nor rage, but for necessity. For the world must be swept clean before the sun dares to return. The dead must be gathered, the unavenged, the unburdened, the oath breakers. Their souls cling to Midgard like frost on stone. And Odin, in his mercy and his might, drags them to the gale, so the earth may rest, so the seeds may sleep, so the light might be earned. In that night, Popener saw a young man among the riders, barefoot, tattered finery, face twisted in sorrow. Elnir, a son of his neighbor who was lost to sea 2 winters past, his body never found. As the host thundered overhead, Elnir turned his head just once and met Popener's gaze. No words, only a nod. Thank you for remembering my name. The hunt surged onwards, northwards, towards the roots of the world, and leaving behind only the scent of iron and lightning, and a single black feather at Polkner's feet. From that night on, Polkner left offerings in his threshold each Yule Eve, a bowl of barley porridge rich with cream and honey, a twist of dried rowan twigs, and a small cup of mead. For the rider, he muttered. He taught his grandchildren, do not curse the storm, do not mock the howling wind, do not stand tall in an open field when the sky goes quiet and the dogs fall silent. Bow your head, honor the passage, for the hunt is not evil, it is balance. It is breath of the world inhaling before it sings the sun back to life. And so it is even now. When the blizzard screams and the pines grow, when you glimpse high into the swirling dark, a flicker of an 8-legged shadow and a flash of one blue eye. Know this, the All-Father rides. The dead are gathered. The longest night holds its breath. And soon, so soon, the first pale light will guide the eastern rim of the world. And after the hunt comes the dawn. Her descent, thus it is told. Okay.
You read very well.
Thank you.
That was very nice.
All right. So we are going to call the elements. Is this my first?
Mm-hmm.
By earth, air, fire, and sea, by the stars that shine in the longest night, I call this sacred space into being. Spirits of the east, guardians of the rising sun, bring your breath of renewal, your promise of dawn. I welcome you. Keepers of the spirits of the south, keepers of the hearth fire, kindle warmth in the dark, ignite hope in the heart. I welcome you. Spirits of the west, mist veiled and wise, bless this turning tide, this sacred pause before rebirth. I welcome you. Spirits of the north, ancient and enduring, hold firm the roots that sleep beneath the snow, the promise of life waiting in silence. I welcome you. Ancestors of blood and spirit, guides who walk before me in the shadow and starlight, draw near. Your wisdom is remembered. I welcome you. Divine ones, sun children reborn, holly king yielding to oak, great mother resting in sacred slumber, horned God in his winter guise. Bless this circle, this moment of balance. I welcome you. This is the still night. The world holds its breath. Between death and birth, dark and light, magic waits, potent and pure. I consecrate this circle as a vessel of peace, a cradle for the returning sun, a sanctuary of stillness and hope. So mote it be. Blessed
mote it be.
Yule.
The longest night. We gather now in the hush of the longest night. The world is still. The earth sleeps beneath snow. The sun has journeyed far, and for one sacred breath it rests. This is Yule, the turning, not an ending, but a pause, a deep inhale before the world exhales light once more. Wisdom of the earth. Our ancestors knew this truth in their bones. They brought in the evergreen, pine, holly, ivy to whisper, life endures. They lit the great Yule log not for warmth, but as a spell of hope. A promise into the embers. We remember the light. We call it home. And now we light the candle. Either your purple candle or your black candle.
Oh, okay.
And if you have evergreen, touch it to your altar.
My candle is the one I light. I have Krampus and I got a Yule. Oh my God. Oh, it smells. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to get my candle lit. That's being very stubborn. I don't usually blow them out.
Okay. The wisdom of the ancestors. The sacred birth. In the stillness, the goddess, crone, wise one, keeper of the void, gives birth, not in pain, but in power, not in noise, but in sacred silence. From her body, the dark earth, the star-strewn night, comes the newborn sun god, a tiny flame, a first cry, a golden spark. The kings of the year, the Holly King, Lord of the waning year, bows. His time of rest and reflection is complete. From the shadow steps the Oak King, not yet strong, not yet tall, but alive. His hand holds the promise of spring. With one breath, he turns the wheel. The first light returns. Feel it now, the subtle shift. The sun begins to slow. The sun begins its slow return. Through the days, though the days are still cold, the light is growing. 1 minute, 1 degree, one heartbeat at a time. This is the miracle of Yule. Hope is not blind optimism. It is a choice, a craft, a spell we cast. Now, light your white candle or your gold candle. It stands for the sun, which is the keepers of the flame. So tonight, we do as they did. We honor the dark, for it is holy. We welcome the light, for it is ours to tend. We light this flame for the sun reborn, for in the seed of the soil, and for the seed in the soil, for the dream in the heart, for the courage to wait, for the faith to begin again. We are the keepers of the flame, and so it is.
Oh, mote it be.
And now Audrey will read the Odin's
Here
Night
it is.
Before Christmas.
Oh, you got it.
I got it right here. Was the night before Yule, an Odin-tide carol. 'Twas the night before Yule, and all through the field and fen, not a single soul stirred, save for the wild huntsmen. The Yule log burned low in the old hall with care, and hope that Odin, the Allfather, will soon be there. The children lie dreaming at first soft and deep, while visions of runes and Valkyries sweep. And in my cloak and my love and her shawl kept watch for the rider and the lord over all. When out in the moor rose a thunderous sound, not a wind nor a wolf howl, but hooves shaking the ground. I leapt to the door with my hand on my knife. The face came riding with the storm and with life. The moon, pale, sharp as a spear point of ice, lit the sky where the dark clouds rolled thick as a vice. And when through the blizzard should gallop into view, but gray eight-legged steed with its rider true, with the one-eyed wanderer, fierce, grim, and grand, cloaked in blue and black, with a staff in his hand, more swift than the gale where his coursers came. Sleipnir the swift, born of Loki's own flame, and he whistled and shouted and called out his name. Now Gungnir, now Gary, now Friki, draw near. Now Huden, now Munin, bring wisdom and fear. To the peak of the hill, to the stone and the altar's crown. Now ride, my bold kin, and let the old rites come down. As the snow and the blizzard, it spirals as they flew, and the ravens above and the wolves running through. With a roar like the sea and a crack like a tree, they landed still as death before the hearth and me. He dismounted with grace, through his beard swept the snow, his blue cloak stained with starlight and woe. A stack of rune stones and the mead horns and pine hung heavy and sacred on Sleipnir's strong spine. His eye, how it gleamed with the light of the stars. His voice, like the sea through a cave full of scars. His face was both ancient and young as the dawn. His brow heavy with knowledge and long wanderings had drawn. And the rune carved staff he held firm in his grip, while the snowflakes like ash from his shoulders would slip. He bore on his back a great mead horn of gold and a bundle of holly both stern and bold. He spoke not a word, but his gaze held years, the fall of the gods and the birth of new spears. He poured from the horn into ours deep and slow, the mead of poets, the wisdom to know. On the hearthstone he laid a bright solar disk, a raven's feather, and an oath not to miss. Then pressing his finger to his once seeing eye, he whispered a rune and began to fly. And back on the steed with a nod and a sigh, he vaulted to Sleipnir and soared through the sky. His wolves gave a howl, his ravens took wing. I heard him call out as the stars around him ring. Happy Yule to all. The long night is brief. The sun will return. Hold fast your belief and keep the fires alight and honor the ancestors near. And remember, the All-Father is always riding near. And then the last little
That
bit.
was awesome. All right, yeah, we're just
Now, if you want to take a few minutes, we can write out some intentions. We'll take 2 or 3 minutes, like your New Year's resolutions, your intentions for the year,
I'll go get
and
that.
then we'll close circle after that.
okay. I just figured you would need it. Until the rest of it. And I've got over a month of plan for you. See, this is what I had the Ivy. Think tomorrow. Yeah, I stay fine. Let's test these lights down there. Feels good to have it back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're going to close circle.
All right, that is good. Oh, oops, it just went away. Hold on. And it just went away again. You gotta just slide it over here. There it goes. All right. The spirits of the four quarters, the ancestors, the holy ones, thank you for your presence on this longest night. I release you now with honor and carrying your peace within me. The circle is open, the work is held, the light returns quietly and surely. So it is, and so mote it be. So
So
mote it
mote it
be.
be. Blessed be. Happy you.
Blessed be. I I'm really glad you guys liked the stories. It's been I've practicing like crazy. Like
Very
and
well.
I put pictures of what the altar looked like on the chat.
So,
If anyone wants to see.
so if you guys want to open up to any questions, about Yule and some of its practices, we're more than happy to answer.
Yep.
Um, yeah.
I don't have a doubt. I just have a curiosity.
Sure.
In the 15 slides, the sacred bird, I was looking to the picture, the goddess picture. Is this the goddess picture or is another entity? I never saw this entity. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it's a goddess picture giving birth.
Yes.
Oh, that ancient one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really cool. I saw that too.
It's a really old
but
one. I have the
my
image source if you want it.
sure. And it got my attention because I mean, being the goddess, as you can see, it's a little bit, I don't know, with traces of Indian. So you can see how much the goddess have traveled the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Jessica was asking if they said what goddess that was.
No. Well, my saying the image sources. Let me check and see real quick. Hold on.
It looked like it's pretty ancient.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Could be like Astarte or um God's Babylonian or Sumerian goddess or something.
I just have to look at the original. It's a little bit small, guys. So you have to give me a second.
Oh, you're fine.
My eyesight isn't the best in the world
Sure.
right now.
Yeah. I love these pants.
They look freaking comfortable as shit.
Yeah, they're pretty warm too.
Like, look at.
A swat, a swasha, a swashe.
Spell it.
ASAW. It looks like ISA. A swashy. Let me find out if that's
Wasawisa?
Indian.
ASAWISA?
That's what it looks like.
Asawisa?
Asawisa?
I there's so many different names for these goddesses because when they went from region to region, they would change the name.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically all the same
It's all
one.
the same goddess, pretty much.
And if it's the one giving birth, then it was probably Asherah at one time. Or Astarte, she was that. Isis, she was that.
Isis, you've got
Any of
Gaia
the
in Greek mythology. You've got
definitely not Greek.
No, this isn't Greek.
yeah, but if we're going down, add that idea.
These are
Yeah.
old
Um,
goddess depictions, but yeah, that's it's they traveled from region to region, and as another group would incorporate the another's local gods and goddesses, sometimes they change the names. So it's really fascinating linguistically to go back and look at how the names of things changed over time. A lot of this technology or traveled with technology, the religion and culture pieces traveled with things like weaving and things that had to do with tending sheep, breeding sheep, raising sheep, all of that stuff, all of that knowledge with religion and culture and stuff like that went from place to place to place and was adopted.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ladies,
that's how it
I
traveled.
have some things I have to do tonight before I head to bed.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, it was very nice to be on tonight. Thank you.
You're
Great. Oh,
welcome.
I'm
Thank
glad you
you,
enjoyed it.
Kimberly. Have a good one.
Have a good
Blessed
one.
be.
Happy Yule. Blessed be.
Happy
Blessed
Yule.
be. Happy Yule. In that fascinating book that I have about weaving and um, magic and pre prehistorical depictions of goddesses and of weaving and things like that. This book was just mind blowing and tells you how things traveled from one place to the next. It's really interesting. But it was actually women's work, and that's what it was about. That's what the book is about, women's work. It was actually about how women's work was the thing. Weaving basically was women's work, and how that was the engine that drove language and culture and religion and everything else, technology throughout the globe. People were always fascinated with new ways to make cloth. So naturally, that was a very popular thing. New loom plans and ideas was naturally a very popular way for things to travel. So it's just a little tidbit
I think it's really
of non-Yule
that
related.
we after telling the stories and doing this ritual, I think it's really wonderful to talk about different how different cultures and different paths celebrate Yule or the winter solstice or everything like that. So I mean, we got the tidbit with the Holly King and the Oak King, and then we got the tidbit with the Norse mythology. And last week we touched base on how different paths as well. Looked at different parts of the winter solstice and what we use during this time. So at the end of the day, like as we go through and we talk about all the holidays to come and where we're kind of going to rework a lot of this and tell more stories and things of this nature, I want you guys to kind of sit back and think of times of old and how we can honor those but walk forward and use them in our own walk to life in our own path.
No matter how broke we are, we're lucky to be indoors.
Very much so.
Very much so. I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to get it to come up.